La Masia produces football magic. Lionel Messi, Josep Guardiola, Xavi Hernandez, Andres Iniesta, Sergio Busquets, Gerard Piqué, Carlos Puyol, and many other tops. La Masia presented the world with a footballer with the most Ballon d'Ors in history. La Masia won the 2010 FIFA World Cup by and large, and in 2010 the three finalists for the Ballon d'Or award for the first time were from the same football academy, and that was La Masia. Moreover, let's not forget about Barcelona's victories in the 2009 and 2011 Champions League, where the main role was played by the academy's graduates. All those guys were listed at the beginning of the video. Under Rosell and Bartomeu, it seemed that La Masia had lost its magic, but with the return of Laporta and the financial crisis, FC Barcelona returned to their roots. Now La Masia has released new big deals: Lamine Yamal, Pau Cubarsí, Fermin Lopez, Actia Ford, Marc Guiu. More and more top talents are in the way. It seems like some kind of magic, but it's more about mythology, a football laboratory. Barcelona's famous academy is considered one of the strongest in the world. In particular, according to the CIES Football Observatory, 101 La Masia graduates are currently playing in the top 5 European leagues. Only Real Madrid is on the par with Barca, but try to recall any big talent that La Fábrica has produced in the last 5 years. It'll be a big challenge for any football fan. La Masia talents are currently shocking the football world. 16-year-old Lamine Yamal is a real star in Barcelona, for whom PSG are already willing to pay 200 million euros, and who has already become an important player for the Spanish national team. Or take, for example, 17-year-old centre-back Pau Cubarsí, who has also already made his debut for the Spanish national team, and whom Robert Lewandowski did not believe when Pau said he was turning 17. Indeed, such cases when youngsters very quickly become major players, and in such big clubs as Barcelona, are exceptions to the rules of world football and are considered as a global phenomenon. Like a meteorite falling in a certain part of the globe. The meteorite comparison is quite appropriate when we talk about La Masia's talents and the school itself. Why La Masia is so good? La Masia, which is Catalan for the Farmhouse, is the name that is generally used to describe the Barcelona Youth Academy, or cantera, meaning quarry, to give its Spanish name. Interestingly, the original building, known as La Masia de Can Planes, was an old manor house that was built in 1702. In 1957, when Barcelona opened the Camp Nou near La Masia, this building was already serving as a club office. And in 1979, it finally became a hostel for young talented footballers from outside Barcelona. Later on, it became the place that is known all over the world, the FC Barcelona Factory of Stars. Currently, La Masia accommodates 76 children. These can be football and futsal players, basketball players, volleyball players, and even roller hockey players. Priority is given to children whose parents are far away from their families. The academy is one of the most expensive in Europe, operating at a cost of 5 million euros a year. The main cost is the dormitory, La Masia itself. The minimum age of the youth program is 6 years. Each year, more than 1,000 boys from the ages of 6 to 8 try out for admission. The best 200 are selected. The club also actively seeks for prospective students. It employs a system in which 15 scouts are deployed in Catalonia, 15 in the rest of Spain, and 10 scattered throughout the world. To alleviate the expenses of this scouting, 15 local clubs for them to train players who are not ready for entry into the youth academy. In return, FC Barcelona gives money, coaching, and technical advice to these clubs for their services. Barcelona are also actively developing a chain of their football schools around the world. The network consists of nearly 40 countries around the globe: the USA, Mexico, Egypt, Japan, Jordan, India, Hungary, Canada, Saudi Arabia, Morocco, Poland, Switzerland, and many other countries. La Masia is a place where children receive both football and academic education. This philosophy fits in with the club's well-known motto, Més que un club, more than a club. La Masia has a teaching staff 24 hours a day, 365 days a year. As stated on the official Barcelona website, the club pays great attention and invests a lot of money not only in the education of football players, but also in the education of future other society members if the boys fail to succeed in professional football. La Masia also has a mentoring system where a tutor provides comprehensive support to boys and girls studying at the La Masia Oriol Tort Education Center. La Masia also runs the following programs: Emotional Education, Masia Solidaria, the Family and Environment Care Service, Psychological Support Service, FC Barcelona Identity. In short, it's worth noting the great systematic work that is done with the school students. A lot of attention is paid to future stars and their problems, such as working with psychologists. From a very young age, children are taught a social function to support other children by doing charity work. What else impressed us is that La Masians can have their own taxi drivers who are hired by the club. These taxi drivers are thoroughly checked and familiarized with the behavioral rules for Barca students. The main football values that are instilled in the boys at La Masia are the 5 values: respect, effort, modesty, teamwork, and ambition. And you would probably be interested to know how a typical day at a Barcelona school goes. A typical day at La Masia starts at 7:30 with a group breakfast. Boys get their education at local schools from about 8 to 2 p.m. After a 2 p.m. lunch, some boys take a siesta while others do homework. From 4 to 6, they get intensive football training. That is followed by a hard workout in the gym. At 9 p.m., boys eat dinner together until bedtime at 10 p.m. Many choose to read, listen to music, or do homework before turning in. By the way, Lamine Yamal still lives in La Masia, but now he's following the first team schedule. Put a like if you didn't know that Yamal lives in one of the rooms in La Masia. Every football club has their own mythology for training players. Barcelona school has always stood out from the crowd. The players who has gone through La Masia has something different to the rest. It's a plus that only comes from having competed in a Barcelona shirt from the time you were a child. Josep Guardiola says, "The greatest contribution to Barca's mythology, of course, is credited to the legendary Johan Cruyff, who laid the foundation for the Catalan club's success and changed the system of educating young players at La Masia. It's about creating one philosophy, one mentality, from the bottom of the club to the top." The club says about the most important factor in the school's success. The philosophy consists of the application of total football plus tiki-taka. 4-3-3 formation for all teams in the school sounds simple enough on paper, but to deliver one style of football to all teams and players in such a large system as FC Barcelona requires hard methodological work of a large team of coaches and various specialists, including doctors, psychologists, nutritionists, cooks, and physiologists. Lionel Messi, the greatest footballer in the history of Barcelona and perhaps of world football, explained in very simple words why getting into La Masia does not automatically make you a potential football star. The club's philosophy is to bring kids through the academy, playing in the same way. Sometimes players come from outside and it's hard for them to adapt to Barca's style. It seems easy, but it isn't. Messi said in an interview with Sport S, "We were born with this and we spent so long with the club, knowing what it's about, how they play, how to be a step ahead when you receive the ball, knowing where your teammates are. It's not easy to adapt, no matter how good the players that are signed are. Obviously, when you are a professional and you have quality, you pick it up quicker, but it always takes time." That's the club's philosophy, which is different to others. This is the phenomenon of Barcelona, where a club does not have to spend a fortune on transfers to stay at the top. The club has already seen the consequences of such reckless behavior, which was typical for Barca under Bartomeu. And at a time when the financial crisis is consuming Barcelona's potential, and when it seemed that the Blaugranas would fall into the abyss with former football tops, it was La Masia that saved them. Now the academy produces a new football diamond almost every year. In 2019, the star of Ansu Fati shone. At the peak of his power, the graduate of the Barcelona school was estimated at 80 million euros. But injuries destroyed the career of the successor to Messi. Gavi has become the main star of the year 21, and it's impossible to imagine the future of Barcelona without him. Many see Pablo as the future captain of the Blaugrana. Currently, the product of the Barca academy is estimated at 90 million euros on Transfermarkt. Alejandro Balde became the next La Masia star to shine in the first team. 2022 belongs to the left back, who is valued at 40 million euros. And finally, in 2023, Lamine Yamal and Fermin Lopez came on board. The beginning of 2024 is about Pau Cubarsí. Wonder how much their price tags have increased? Yamal now costs 75 million euros, Kubarsi 25, and Fermin 15 million euros. This is just the beginning of these beasts at the highest level. Marc Guiu and Actia Ford also made their debuts in the 2023-24 season. The mega-talented Fernandez brothers, Guille and Tony, are in the way. Potentially a very strong defensive midfielder, Marc Bernal, and central midfielders Pau Prim and Kim Hunyent may rise. The academy also has impressive wingers Tunkara and Nomoko. New generation strikers Oscar Gistau and Marvin Duroux are also growing up. In short, more to follow and the future is bright. And when we say this about Barcelona, there are no advances. As you can see from this video, La Masia is committed to a systematic approach to educating not only top footballers, but also members of society. The secret is in the club's values. Dear friends, we hope you enjoyed this video and will reward us with your likes. It was Fanatico channel with you. We love football as much as you do. Watch other suggested videos and stay tuned to our channel.